god. Here's a project for your best table. Playing music from the Mushroom Kingdom. Playing music from the $100 post I get them made up. If you buy it to help you awaken, I'm lying to. Cause you must be mentally unstable, I'm lying to. Random motion tracking is enabled, I'm lying to. I never saw so you should break up, I'm lying to. I don't think you just quite understand how dumb this product is from Nintendo.
I'm Ash Dixon, this is GINX News, and yeah, this is a real thing. It's called Alarmo, Nintendo's interactive clock, costing $100 or £90 here in the UK. It keeps track of the time, uses Nintendo soundtracks as alarms, and makes obnoxious game sound effects as you slowly get up. It does so through a motion sensor built into the clock for some reason, and it's controlled via this glowing blob that can flash different colors. And that's basically it. And the whole thing is just weird and leaves me with so many questions, so let's just address a few things, shall we? Like, 1, anyone who's used one of their favorite songs as their alarm clock knows that that is the fastest way to absolutely despise that song. Well, bar that one Mark Rebier track.
Get the f out of bed, go.
Seriously, I had Life Less Frightening by Rise Against as my alarm clock when I was an edgy teenager, and like Pavlov's dog, when I hear that little guitar intro now, it makes me feel so angry. Imagine getting that feeling whenever you load up Zelda. Who wants that? Because Nintendo, I don't care how much you paid those actors in that nice shiny promo video. No one wakes up like that. When real people wake up, they feel utter despair at being reminded that they exist before mentally prepping themselves to mask their way through work and pretend they actually like their colleagues. Not you, Dai. You're hot. Plus, glaring flaw with the Alarmo. Are Nintendo just assuming that all their fans are single? I mean, they're not wrong, but one of us might get lucky every so often. What then, Nintendo? Because clearly that motion tracking only works for one person. And what if that poor Alarmo gets confused at other bed-related activities? Although thinking about it, maybe those coin sound effects are actually a selling point. Now, for a second, I thought maybe I'm being too critical. After all, it could be the case that I'm just not the demographic for this clock. Maybe it's not for grown-ups at all. But then I thought, why is the advert full of adults? Why does it cost $100? And why did they pick the Ring Fit Adventure soundtrack of all games? And it gets worse, because if you were insane enough to consider buying this, you can't unless you have a Nintendo Online subscription. That should have your alarm bells ringing, because wholly unethical business practices. And I guess it just points to the massive double standard that exists for Nintendo. Whenever any other gaming company attempts this BS, they get called out for the money grab that it is. When Nintendo do it, we apparently go, haha, silly Nintendo with their quirky business decisions. Like, someone please justify this clock. Is it designed for the Palworld developers so they don't oversleep their court date? Oh, quick plug for this video that explains why that whole case is way more interesting than anyone is talking about. But overall, as much as someone might just say, Ash, it's an alarm clock, just don't buy it. Sadly, the reality is this kind of thing underpins most of what Nintendo do these days, and they'll continue to get away with it because they make fantastic games most of the time. What do you think? Am I being too harsh? Leave those comments down below. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, because maybe one day this channel will be big enough that I can afford an Alarmo.